or visit Boniva.com.
Back now at 7:43. It's a very special morning here on Today because we are welcoming a new member to the family, Jenna Bush Hager.
Now, in a lot of ways, she's a familiar face. After all, she spent 8 years in the White House, but there's a lot that you may be surprised to learn about our newest contributing correspondent.
I could eat candy.
Thanks, Mom.
Say hi, Jenna.
Well, President Bush, George's dad, was vice president in 1981 when Barbara and Jenna were born. So for their whole lives, somebody in their family has been in politics.
These are our two West Texas twin granddaughters, Jenna and Barbara.
I always expected Jenna to be a teacher. She loved, even as a little girl, to line up her dolls and play school. Jenna was a very amusing child. She was the first one to learn to crawl out of her bed.
Come on, Vinny.
But then she'd run into our bedroom like, da-da-da-da-da-da, it's Jenna.
Jenna and I are twins. I'm 1 minute older than her.
I think she's bossier.
Jenna is definitely the bossier twin.
No, I think I'm probably bossier. I hate to say it.
It would seem, I think, to outsiders that they had a very extraordinary childhood, but in fact, we really made an effort for them to have an ordinary childhood.
Our grandparents, Gampy and Ganny, were vice president.
They call me Ganny, G-A-N-N-Y.
Even though they had this very important job, they would swing us in the big swing on the vice president's lawn. They were just always Ganny and Gampy.
Jenna and I, when we were little, we went campaigning with our grandfather, and it was over Halloween. And we dressed up on the plane and trick-or-treated down the aisle. And Jenna was Juicy Fruit, and I was a vampire.
Smile, Dracula.
And they trick-or-treated the press at the back of the plane. And of course, the press was a little unprepared.
And actually, it was kind of sad because no one had any candy with them. And so we had like a few certs and maybe like a piece of gum.
To me, I feel like our childhood was really normal and really fun. We went to Maine every summer with my grandparents and boat rides. Our parents took us on family bike rides as soon as we learned, my sister and I, how to ride a bike. So growing up was really a typical childhood.
And we're going to do a nice show for you.
Jenna did really like to be the center of attention, and then Jenna wanted voice lessons too.
And I always wanted to be on Broadway and do shows and sing.
Jenna loves Meatloaf. That's her go-to karaoke song.
I would do anything for love. And then it ramps up. But I'm not going to keep singing it.
Singing was not her thing at all, but she thought it was.
George and I, of course, thought they were really talented.
I always thought I was fantastic. I still think I'm a pretty good singer, but nobody else does.
Her grandfather and I can't sing either, so it's all right. And her father's worse, so.
George and I made a very conscious effort to keep our girls out of the spotlight. They weren't the ones that chose to run for office. And they, I think, always were aware that it was a special privilege for them.
We also got to meet many heads of state and heroes, really, of ours. And people even say now, so now you're going to go be on TV? Telling my story makes me uncomfortable, but talking about other people who are doing extraordinary things is amazing. Henry and I got married about a year and a half ago. We're not counting months yet. I think that's probably good.
She is natural.
She's bubbly.
Jenna is definitely an extrovert. She's probably the funniest person that I know.
She's bright.
I think that's one of her most endearing qualities, is there's no pretension.
She's very loyal.
She's the type of person that people love to be around.
I love teaching. I love urban education. I've worked in inner city DC and inner city Baltimore for most of my career. I moved to Latin America to work for UNICEF, meeting with kids. Many of them were living with HIV/AIDS or faced abuse in their homes. I also taught twice a week in an orphanage that I visited. I definitely was changed by my experience there as a teacher. The really wonderful thing about kids is kids don't care who your parents or your grandparents are. As soon as they get to know who you are as a person, that's what matters to them.
One year for Dr. Seuss's birthday, Jenna dressed up as the Cat in the Hat, and she read Dr. Seuss books to different classes.
My kids always called me the book lady. Oh, there's the book lady.
I think I am a better writer because of Miss Jenna.
I would say that I really missed her. She was a really good teacher.
It's a beautiful morning.
So my plan is to work for the Today Show and to teach. I'm going to be a reading resource teacher and also work for the Today Show as a correspondent. I think it's going to be a really cool experience to do both. I was on the Today Show for Honest Story, a book that I wrote, and then I came back to the Today Show with my mom to talk about the book we wrote, read all about it. Obviously, they read to us every night. They weren't watching television. They turned the TV off. But they did watch the Today Show, I'm sure. That's when the executive producer, Jim, joked around, I think, and said, "Oh, you'd be great on our show." Oh, dear. Is this part of the wedding day? I'm super excited. I didn't really think he was for real, but I guess he is.
Good luck, Jenna.
I wish her the very best on the Today Show.
I know you're going to do a great job.
And we do welcome you,
We
Jenna,
sure
to the
do.
team.
Thanks
It's nice to have you. So much of that was sweet and great, but we just want to talk about meatloaf.
Meatloaf, yeah.
We want to talk
Please
about...
never talk
Singing
about
voice.
meatloaf again.
No. If you say
It's
you have
only
a
a-
good singing voice...
Give me a chance.
Please.
Here's your chance to prove
Is
your
this the
family
way you
wrong.
welcome me? This is the way you welcome me?
Now, how about the smackdown from Ganny?
Oh, yeah. Ganny's tough.
She's tough, but she's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's the
she
best.
really
But
is.
to change the subject, if I can, as fast as I possibly can. I'm
learned well already.
thrilled to be here, and one of the great parts is that now I'm not ever again, promise, part of the story, and that I get to tell terrific stories about people doing wonderful things.
We're going to start tomorrow, by the way, because we're taking you to Dallas.
Yes.
And you're going to tell us a great story
Yeah, we're
there.
going on a road
She's
trip.
doing a live web chat today.
That's right.
On
Exactly.
Today's Show.
Exactly. And by the way, tell your folks they don't have to pick us up at the airport. We'll take a
Yeah,
taxi.
exactly.
But we are coming for dinner.
What are you making?
The Secret Service. We expect you in some kind of a costume.
Thank you very
tomorrow.
much.
Yeah.
Thank
We're
you.
back right after this.
Great. Come on. Yeah.